Eddie Murphy are trading places.
Find out. I'm going to get to the bottom of this. It's been a grave mistake.
It looked just like the dude that had me busted.
It was not jokes. It was not jokes.
You're a dead man, Valentine!
Dan Aykroyd, Eddie Murphy,
Billy Ray Valentine, Capricorn.
Trading Places. Coming this summer to a theater or drive-in near you.
Now, sell 200 April 142!
Hey, welcome everybody to another edition of the Black History Month movie reviews. Man, I've been looking forward. I always look forward to doing these reviews here. Always a fun time. We got my man Quez, and we got a special guest. We got Mark here as well to discuss the 1983 film Trading Places, the legendary comedy film from 1983. But first off, please be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and yeah, man, let's get right into it, man. We got Trading Places from 1983, literally 10 years before I was born, which is crazy. If I was born in 83, I'd be 42. That is crazy. Yeah, Trading Places, starring Dan Aykroyd, a young Eddie Murphy, Ralph Bellamy, Dan Amachi, and the beautiful, talented Jamie Lee Curtis. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and get this out the way. Primetime Movie Network subscribers, y'all know Jamie Lee Curtis is a staple of this channel. And I'm pretty sure that this movie was the first movie that she proved to the world that, damn, she has a rack. Okay. For the longest time, she was known for her chest for the longest time, and this is one of the first times we actually saw it. Yeah. Jamie Lee Curtis back then was one of them ones. She was one of them ones back then, and this movie was definitely a showcase of that. But here's the thing though, and just a really quick thing. When I told a friend of mine that I was gonna do this film as part of the Black History Month movie reviews, and then we kind of had this discussion. Can you call this a black movie? And we had like a little bit in-depth discussion. And I said, and I think we came to an agreement that yes, it is. Why is that? The man in next Jamie Lee Curtis, Eddie Murphy. His character, you don't get no blacker than Eddie Murphy. You know, like with his character, how he presents himself, how he carries himself. He makes this a black film, right? And it's interesting because the movie is really centered around Dan Aykroyd, but because of Eddie's authenticity with his character as Billy Ray Valentine, whenever he's on screen, whatever white movie it was, he transforms us and he makes it a black movie just like that. And then you get to a point in the movie where, I'm going to go ahead and say this. This was a line in the movie. This one line brings the whole movie together because this movie, in a way, is about black and black issues. When Mortimer tells his brother, "You really think we would give this company over to a nigger?" That brings the movie full circle. That's what brings it all together and makes this a black film with Eddie's position in the movie. So I would say that yes, this is a black film because of Eddie's presence in the movie. But all in all, just initial thoughts. I love this film. I think it's a dope film. I think the writing is really smart. I think the story is dope. Where these two billionaires and Mortimer and Randolph literally take these two guys and Winthrop and Billy Ray Valentine and literally trade. They literally trade places on as a scientific experiment on the whole nature versus nurture situation. And I think the story is dope. I think Eddie Murphy is brilliant in the movie. I think Jamie Lee Curtis is really good in the movie. I think Dan Aykroyd's really good in this film. Um, yeah, I would. And this was one of the movies. I ain't gonna say this is the movie that propelled Eddie's superstardom, but this was the movie where he was like, okay, look out for this Eddie Murphy guy because he's on the rise. He's about to be a superstar, and it didn't take Eddie long. But yeah, I think this movie is dope. Quez, then Mark, give your guys initial thoughts on Trading Places and whether or not if you specify this as a black film or not.
Well, I'll just go ahead and say this just to give some little behind the scenes through this process. This is my first time ever watching Trading Places. I've always heard of the movie every now and again when people would talk about discussion, and also when we would talk about Eddie Murphy films, as James would go always discuss with Eddie Murphy. Trading Places would always be a movie that he would always bring up as far as being one of Eddie's best performances. Especially, he would talk about Eddie's big run during his prime. This movie's not necessarily Eddie's prime, but he will always give Eddie credit as far as like the film that really like puts him on to the scene in Hollywood. And I can agree with that with the performance he's done here. Now, going into this with fresh eyes, I didn't know what to expect of this movie. And I'm kind of glad I didn't, so I didn't know any preconceived thoughts, notions, and belief as far as like, oh, Trading Places, what they're gonna switch bodies, they're gonna switch roles or something like that. And something like that they did, but what I appreciated was how they did it, the characters, the billionaires, how they orchestrated it, and it gave a lesson behind Dan Aykroyd's character about how he was being portrayed as himself, who he was, and how he needed to really do like self reflection on what he was becoming because he wasn't being the person that anybody was really rocking with and respected. And then when the roles got reversed, that's when he sees like, well, dang, I'm just being some ordinary, regular, common folk, like how he treated Eddie Murphy's character. So I like how the direction the writers took with that. Overall thoughts with the movie. I thought the movie was cool. Again, just for first listen, for first watch of it, I thought the movie was cool. I didn't love it because there was a couple points where the movie did drag towards like the middle part, and it was kind of like going slow up until like the ending part. And a couple pieces I didn't really agree with, which we will discuss. But overall, the actors did a really good job playing their roles, whether it be Jamie Lee, Dan Aykroyd, Eddie, the billionaires, even the butler. The butler was funny in this movie too. So overall, it is a good movie, so to speak. But I feel like I'll appreciate it and recognize it more if I get to see it again. And I'll answer real quick before Mark goes ahead and shares his thoughts. Do I consider this a black movie? Off the head, no. Just because um when I think of the definition of like a black movie and a commonality for what we had a theme to this series of, we always do like Black History Month hood movie classics, or we discuss black movie classics, and it could be like in under the hood genre. This one is more along the lines of it didn't have to be necessarily a full on black movie to be good. It just showcased a black actor in the making in Eddie Murphy. I feel like it was more of a showcase for him instead of just being like an overall portrayal of just like great black movie classic. It's just a black character shining in an overall diverse cast of a movie. And Eddie really did that.
It's a
So
good point. Good point.
so yeah. So I don't fully have it as like a full on black movie, but black stand out with the story and everything else in between. Combined with that, it is a solid film from a quality black actor in the making. So that's just my thoughts on that.
No, that's fair. I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat as Quez. This is my first time watching this movie. In fact, I literally just told James before we went on air that I just finished the movie, like before I logged into StreamYard to do the review. Um, I think my opinion on the movie is going to be different than everyone else, though. Like, I don't look at this, and I'm not going to really explain why. I don't think we have to go into a whole like just back and forth on why it is a black film or why it isn't. I don't consider it a black film, and I also don't consider it to be a comedy. This movie's kind of dark, y'all. If you really just kind of think about it, this is not really a comedy movie, in my personal opinion. Just based on
It's
you
damn
got
near a
these two.
documentary, right?
Yeah, like you're literally looking at like an
Yeah.
exaggerated tale on how rich people play with the common folks' lives. It's kind of dark if you really just think about it. Um, Another interesting thing I felt about this movie was the portrayal of having, I would say, two main characters. I don't think that the what was his name, Winthorpe. I don't think he was like necessarily just like the one main character. I think him and also Billy Ray, they both shared, you know, the main character role. Like think about a movie like Toy Story and other different comedies that may have like, two different main characters and stuff like that. So that's kind of how I looked at the film. And I mean, they even started it off. And I know we're going to get into this in a minute, James, but the reason I say two main characters too is because the movie literally starts off showing you two different sides of the same area. One where the street is hustling and bustling, everyone is riding around their fancy cars, and you got people on the street selling food. Everything's great. Then there's this other side of the neighborhood where people just outside shooting ball, hooping on crates. Life ain't really that good for them. It's two different sides of the same world, kinda. Um, and then you had Jamie Lee Curtis, obviously, who had her moments in there, and the Butler. Everyone, like Quez said, had their moments to really portray a good character and get enough scenes in there to be memorable in the movie, I would say. Also, I do want to give credit to the soundtrack of this movie. I know we don't really talk about that kind of stuff a lot, but whenever I do a movie review, I like to kind of shout out, those kind of things. And I think they had a great soundtrack opening with, I forgot what was the opening, the person, I think it might have been Mozart. I know it was Wolfgang, the orchestra and all that different stuff going on there. And then you had a bunch of different songs like from the party, in the stock market exchange, like all those different soundtracks they had and scores. I thought those were fantastic to complement to the movie. So yeah, I'm with Quez on this. I don't think it was a great film, but I don't think it was a bad film. Just a solid one overall that kind of went back and forth from wanting to portray like a real thing, and then you start getting towards the end, and it's like, okay, we got this, and we got gorillas, and it just starts kind of going crazy. But yeah, all in all, solid film. It just started kind of losing its mind towards the end, which I kind of like personally.
And you know what, and it's actually kind of, and I'm glad you said that this movie, it kind of, it kind of portrays like because you have the elites, which was Mortimer and Randolph, and they were pretty much playing the puppet masters all throughout this film, and like it also goes to show that not only do the black people suffer from this, but also the white people suffer from these two actions, and I thought this movie did a really good job at showcasing that because we have Dan Aykroyd, who is Lewis Winthrop. He's a commodities broker. for Duke and Duke Enterprises, and we see him that he's living the life. He's on top. He's on top of his game, at his top of his game in his career. He's engaged to the Duke's grandniece. By the way, she wasn't bad looking either too. Like when she took that dress off, she was like, okay, she got a little something too. And,
I mean, everyone had something in that movie, bro. It was titties galore.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And he's living the high life, right? Well, meanwhile, you have Billy Ray Valentine. The first time we see him, he's like on a I don't know. He's also sort of bored with wheels on it. He's trying to act like as a blind man from Vietnam. And trying to get money, trying to get a dollar from anybody and everybody, right? And I gotta say this: once Eddie Murphy comes on screen, like he immediately takes the movie. Like he immediately, with his charisma, with his energy, it's fantastic. And so Murphy and Winthrop, they accidentally bump into each other, and Winthrop acts like a total bitch, right? He acts like a punk. Like, this man is robbing me! He's robbing me! And then Eddie Murphy was just trying to give him back his briefcase. And then he winds up getting arrested. And Winthrop was like, I'm willing to press full charges. First of all, the way how Dan Aykroyd, how he was so over top with his posh and with his nose in the air attitude, I thought was really hilarious. How he was so over top with it. Like, again, he was on that Jamie Foxx, get your heads off me. So he's one of those type of guys he was playing as. Yeah. And I hear that tone in your voice, Mark.
No, I don't have an issue with it. I'm just saying it was a very pompous type of attitude.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he was very pompous, and so Eddie, and then this is when Mortimer and Randolph, because they've been kind of having like this argument about the whole nature versus nurture thing, and they just want to see what it would be like if we take this hustler, because he's not a criminal. Billy Ray is not a criminal. He's just a hustler. He's a con man. Or in 2025, he's a scammer for the most part. But he's not a criminal. Now, I think it's funny how the real criminals in this movie is the two wealthy guys and the police.
So a scammer ain't a criminal?
What's that?
So a scammer's not a criminal?
Well, it's not willingly trying to be yes, it actually is. You are scamming, but like the big bad villains are the Duke brothers, like
on the grand scheme.
Yeah, he's lower tier criminal. These guys are like top tier FBI bounty type criminals. That's the difference.
Yeah, by the way, Beaks was a mean bastard too in this movie too. But
he was, dude. When he shoved that woman to the ground outside of like the I don't know, like I think they were outside of a store. He just like get off me. He just throw her to the ground, like bro.
I know we're gonna mention this to the end, but we ain't. I'm gonna say like you probably gonna mention this towards the end, but you see how he was acting when his brother had that heart attack.
Oh, dude, yeah, bro, I wanted to bring that up too, which is like the whole thing about this isn't really a comedy. Like that's not. People were really like that. His brother had a heart attack. He turned to the rock. Fuck that. You better sell them stocks.
Dude, I almost screamed laughing when he just said that. Like, that's gonna help him. Fuck him. I almost screamed.
Reopen the market. He did not care that his brother was about to die, bro. And you know what's so funny? You know what's so funny about that, right? Because once again, I know we're kind of all over the place right now, but it's a movie review. We got thoughts. I just finished watching the movie. So did Quez. remember throughout the entire film, y'all, when he kept telling his brother, "Money isn't everything. Money isn't everything." Then when they
Yep.
start losing it all, he's the one who's crying about, "Oh my God, come on, please, I want my money.
We're in ruin.
It's over. It's over." He just grabbed his chest. We're ruined.
Hey
Oh
man,
man,
hey, bro, hey, but this movie did show that when you are at that level, even in Winthorpe's situation, and when you hit rock bottom like that, bro. Again, one of the funniest thing Ari Spears has ever said was, when you've been rich for so long, it's hard to live like an old person. It's hard to go from lobster to fish sticks. So
it
like,
really is. It really
so
is, bro.
Bro, for real.
yeah, so you saw how much of a crash how people can be, but it also kind of goes to show when you have somebody like Billy Ray, who is a hustler, but if you give him an opportunity and you give him a chance, like they did, he'll start to thrive. Because as you saw, he was actually starting to thrive because he later realized. I mean, he kind of said it to him. He's like, "Oh, so y'all pretty much a bunch of bookies." Pretty much, like if you're a salesman, and then I'm pretty sure we all know somebody who's a salesman. Pretty much, being a salesman is no different than being a drug dealer on the street. You're both selling like product, but one's you're just doing it legally. You know what I mean? So it's like it's really no difference. So, but yeah, but back to my point here. So they decide to place a wager. The Duke brothers decide to place a wager.
This is hilarious.
So that we're gonna pretty much we're gonna seize all Winthorpe's accounts. We're gonna put him in jail. We're pretty much gonna ruin this man's life. And then everything Winthorpe has, we're gonna give it to Billy Ray Valentine. And we're gonna see how long it takes for Winthorpe cracks, pretty much, right?
That's crazy. They really turned Billy Ray into a Make-A-Wish kid.
Oh my God, they did. They totally did.
Because almost like, don't you feel sorry for him? I mean, he has circumstances, poverty.
That is so that bro, like that
They're gonna
movie
be
is
made him a Make-A-Wish kid, bro.
well, like that whole thing though, it ties into them being bookies though, right? Like when he called him that, like that's what I'm saying. Like this movie, I know it keeps portraying itself to be a comedy, but it's way deeper than that because you got to think about it. They have all the power, like them being bookies and them, making this bet and stuff. It just goes to show you how much power they had, the privilege that they had. Let's make sure we put respect on that P word for them, the privilege, and just how they could like manipulate the systems, right? You even saw it in the end when the guy saw the brothers sitting up there on the top and they were like, "Hey, the Duke brothers are trying to corner the market. Let's get in on it." They have all the influence, all of it. So them being able to do stuff like that just kind of shows like, and they will being a bookie for them meant more than just gambling on stocks and financial bets. It was even with people's lives, and every single person there was replaceable to them. It was just all on a bet. Bro, you could even sense it with the butler, right? When he told Eddie Murphy in the movie, he was like, "Don't lose being yourself. They can't take that away from you." And it just kind of hints to like, what did they do to this man? He sold his soul to the Duke brothers to be a butler for whoever they decided to put in to be in that next position. Like, I'm telling y'all, this movie dark, man. This ain't no comedy.
I mean, there's a lot of real shit in this film, and speaking of real shit, I want to know your guys' perspective on this particular scene. So Billy Ray, he gets this new money, right? He gets this new money, and he, for lack of a better, he, initially starts acting like a nigga with the money. Like, what the first place he goes to, it's to the club.
He
It's the
goes to the
first place he
club
goes to his club. And so,
Drinks on
and
me,
stop
baby. It's on Billy
and
Ray.
stop and stops at the bar.
Stop right at the
yes,
bar. Here
right,
your little
exactly.
money. Here your $27. I got money. Everything on me, baby.
And bro, and what was and I just want to know your perspective of the scene when, like, again, he's going to the bar. You know, he say, yeah, yo, drinks on me, Billy Valentine, bro. And here's the thing too, like even the bartender, you know, hated Billy Ray because he owed him money. You already kind of got the impression that girls weren't really talking to him because when Billy Ray was broke, trying to holler at a chick, he was like, "We can make it work, baby."
Oh, I ain't gonna lie. I laughed at that when he just yelled that out for some reason. I couldn't help but to laugh. Bitch! I couldn't help but to laugh. That was
You
funny.
know, and so then they go to the party, have the party at his house, and Eddie is disgusted with how these people act, you know, at his house. And I kind of want to know, like, how did y'all interpret that scene? How he was more than welcome to invite everybody into his house, right, for a party. But as soon as these motherfuckers get in there, he gets disgusted, and then he's like, "Y'all need to get the fuck out." What was it? How'd y'all feel about that scene? And what was y'all's take on that scene?
Because that was when he finally realized. Like, remember before he even left that house, the brothers was trying to explain to him, like, this house is your house. This is your belongings. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, so I can harm Globetrotters this vase. And then he dropped what they said was like a $30,000 vase, which is likely probably cap after they said it's like would appreciate like $45,000-$50,000
Keep
vase.
in
And
mind,
then he
I was gonna keep in mind
and,
too. This is 1983 economy, so $30,000 vase is probably shit like 80,000-90,000 now.
man, for real. And then but you see like Billy Ray was processing that. It's like, this is really mine. Because that was after he dropped it. Like, oh, okay. And then he wanted to celebrate though, but then he realized like people are partying, but they're not respecting his space. I.e., they weren't using coasters. Like if you think
Nope.
it's Billy Ray on the street, he ain't thinking about no darn coaster because he's out on the street. But now it says nice house, nice place where he's living at, the nice house. It's like y'all not even using coasters. Y'all not picking up after yourselves. You guys are super loud. Y'all leaving trash everywhere. Y'all trying to get y'all getting freaky in my bed. And then even when old girl was in his bed, I was like, Billy Ray, what do you say?
Oh, bro,
I
she
say
was
you
just
need to get
open.
out my room.
She was just open for it.
Literally. Like she was literally open for Billy, bro. Hey, you know you down bad, bro. You had to tell a girl that was like all the way down with you right then and there. It's like,
We also got to think
girl,
about
just
this,
go
Quest.
home.
His
We
butt
got to
ass
think
nigga
about this,
out.
Quest. Think about this, Quest. I'm willing to bet just a week ago that girl wouldn't have looked at Billy Ray twice.
No.
Not even all, but that was when he realized too. It's just, yo, it's all about my status now, my newfound wealth. Which to Billy's chagrin, he was flaunting it. He was flaunting at the club, buying everybody drinks, including those two jokers that he ran to in that jail cell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just great lines, by the way. Yeah.
great ad lib.
Very good.
That dude was ahead of his time.
He really was. He actually really was, though.
But as I was thinking about it, this is
You said
the brothers, this one brother's plan coming to fruition. Like he was trying to refine, Billy Ray. That was that refinement in there, and it was working.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely for sure. No, I still laugh at that scene when he says, "I'm a karate man. We bruise on the inside. We don't show the weaknesses. You wouldn't know that because you a big Barry White looking motherfucker." Here's another thing too.
Which real quick, James. Sorry, because real quick, we got shot the chat, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and watching us every single year, man. And thank you guys for tuning in tonight to come to check us out. Check us out, John James. Salute to you, homie. You coming through and talking with us. Chaz Flicks, what's good? James, your partner in Primetime Gorehound. Paul's in the house as well, too.
What's up,
Oh,
everybody?
absolutely, absolutely. Mark, how do you feel about that scene when he goes to the when he goes to the bar, invites them all to the bar, to his house, and then he just goes from that to everybody's telling me get the fuck out.
Well, yeah, bro. I mean, like, it's kind of like what Quez said. It's kind of like this thing where he realizes, wait, this is my crib. I own this. I can't just let y'all come around here and just like ruin my place. And honestly, I feel it goes like a little bit deeper than that though, in the sense of like you gotta think about how the movie played out with him realizing him and Winthorpe were like pawns in this big old scheme by the Duke brothers. He kind of realizes, I feel like this is just my own interpretation when I look back at just how the movie played out, is that when he's at the club, he feels like I'm the man, right? Which most people would feel that way when you just came into a bunch of money. Unfortunately, he did, like you said, James. He became exactly what you shouldn't be. Is just a full blown just start throwing his money around, acting a damn fool. It is what it is. So he takes everybody back home, realizing all these people. Which, by the way, I don't know how he like fit 20 something people in that small ass limousine, but that's neither here nor there. To be
You'll be
honest,
surprised, Mark. Mark,
I'm,
you'll be
I'm,
surprised.
I'm just saying, bro. I don't get it, especially those two big burly dudes. I don't get it. But anyways, um, I feel like a part of it was like when everyone was in his crib and they're all just like having a good time. He realizes like y'all ain't nothing but a bunch of suckers, a bunch of pawns. Y'all don't really like me. Y'all just hear from what y'all can gain out of me, right? And I think that's kind of how the movie played out too. Is like they didn't care about Winthorpe. They didn't care about Billy Ray Valentine, bro. They cared about what they could get out of them for their own enjoyment. And that's kind of what happened there, because you got to think that change happened so quick. It wasn't like a week had passed. We didn't get some title card pop up saying 1 week later, like SpongeBob or something. No, it was literally like within an hour, like from, I guess, like when they got to the club to back to the crib. Like if I just had to put that in movie time, it's probably like 30 minutes to an hour. So within that time, he realizes, wait a minute, bro, this ain't right. Y'all got to get up out of here. I can't deal with this. This is stupid. I'm just going to go to bed. I think that's pretty much what happened. He had like a self-realization moment of, this is just stupid. You guys are idiots. Y'all don't really like me, and I'm just using y'all, and y'all using me. So that's kind of how I interpreted that scene.
It was also self-reflecting because, like, literally earlier in the movie, Mark, this man was catcalling a chick. He was chasing a chick down. So we know that if he got to have some sex, he'll take it. Bro, he didn't even want the chick that was in his bedroom, because I think he looked at it as one, it wasn't something he had to earn. You know what I mean? Like, it was just, you more appreciate something when you earn it when someone's just given to you, right? And and also too, when you realize that that you, again, like, you just a sucker. Like, again, like, I'm pretty sure Billy looked at her and kind of like saw himself a little bit too, because he was in that same position, because he was down just as bad as she was. And also another thing too, like I said earlier, I want to bet that same chick wouldn't even think about talking to Billy Ray before he had this money.
No, she just randomly knew his name all of a sudden, popping up, hey, Billy Ray. It's like, oh, okay.
Exactly. And I also kind of loved the parallel that they used with with Billy Ray's situation to Winthorpe's situation, where Billy Ray, started making some money. All of a sudden, you start making friends that you didn't really know you had. Look at Winthorpe's situation. Once he's in a bind, when he kind of falls off. When he falls off,
We don't know you.
His rich girlfriends, they bail on him. They bail on him. Bitch ass Todd. Bitch ass Todd,
yeah.
Yeah, bitch ass Todd that was plotting on Penelope from the very beginning. She was never his friend. Cuckoo, I don't know. He was like, oh, well, lucky you, Lewis. And he's like, it's not luck, Todd. And
Mm-hmm.
and Penelope, the moment Penelope sees he's down bad, she's real ready to go on to the next one. Like it kind of showed the parallels right there. It's like once you start making a little bit of money, now some people want to be your friend. But then once you have money, everyone wants to be your friend. But as soon as the money gets low, everybody just disappears. So I love how it showed the two parallels there with those scenes. Oh, and
Mm-hmm.
also, and another thing that I loved about that scene was it was sneaky, but the scene when he tells Coleman, thank you. And Coleman kind of acts like taken aback by that because Winthrop never said thank you to Coleman.
Never. He was
So
just
Coleman's
a
like,
body there.
he's just a body. Now, granted, he's a little bit more personable to the Dukes because when we see Winthrop walk into work, when he says good morning, Mr. Winthrop, he says good morning back. The Dukes don't talk to nobody. It's like, good morning, Mr. Duke. They just walk right past.
Yeah.
He
Mm-hmm.
still had a little bit of his like humanity left in him. Like just enough. But yeah, like you said, those old ass people that they had employed for them. Morning, Mr. Morning, Dukes, morning. They just, man, they ain't even, it's like their existence wasn't even there. It's kind of crazy.
Exactly. But meanwhile, you have Billy Ray. It's just so crazy how in fact just a simple thank you could mean to somebody. Because now Coleman, it feels like, oh, he sees me as a person. So I thought that was a really great scene. But so yeah, and also what I also kind of would have liked too is they kind of do it magically. I guess they kind of want to tell the story that okay, you just take a street dude, you put him in the stock world, he'll kind of like magically understand how it goes. But maybe I kind of would have liked a couple of scenes where you actually see Billy Ray, reading some books, watching some tape on how, he's actually wants to take this serious. He actually, trying to, gain some information, how this is run, how they do it. It's kind of done magically, you know what I mean? Like when he has to sell the scene when he has to sell the pork bellies, and he kind of like knows what to do just like that. You can pretty much say he's using his street smarts, but
and he's balancing the books at the party and reading through checks and stuff.
That's the thing I do want to say. Like, I think that they didn't have to explain it. I think that if you know how it is to be underprivileged, it was a thing of like, this guy has all the smarts. No one ever gave him a shot though, because whether that was A, they looked at him as a low life, or B, because he was black. But he always had the skills, right? So like that's how I looked at it. It was like this guy always had it, but because he's not one of them, he was never given a chance to show it. But now that he was on that spot to show it, it was like, damn, okay, Mr. Billy Ray,
he adjusted quick too.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't like an adjustment. This was like, he was a smart guy. He just never had a chance. Think about it like this, bro. Like, I'm pretty sure we all know or seen someone who like lives in a really bad environment. Like, just like they said in the movie, the product of your environment, right? Now, this whole time while they're portraying this one image of like, being, whether that's a criminal, gang banging, whatever the case may be, behind all of that was someone who was really smart and intelligent, but was never given an opportunity. And I think that's literally what this was just, he never got to showcase how smart he was, because where he grew up at, they didn't have opportunities to go to Harvard or get a great job. So that's how I looked at it. But I also understand y'all argument about we should have gotten scenes, because it could also be lost. Like, damn, how did he just learn that? So I get both.
But you could kind of imply it as well, because remember what his orders was. He was a street cat. He was a hustler.
Yep.
Like think of like back in the day, like what? Because Billy Ray gave me Ed and Eddie vibes. Like they always had a scheme. They always had a scam to go and get some money. Like Billy Ray had them type of vibes. Like this dude was a blind paraplegic trying to hustle some change. That is cunning, witty, and bold. Like it just doesn't take somebody to just be willing to like go out their way and try to be like, oh, I'm be blind and try and get some money. No, he put some real thought into it. He made the design, he had props, he had a costume, he had everything down pat to do and try to scheme these folks. And it obviously worked before because he'd been doing it. So you should know he has some street smarts with him. Like you can have book smarts or you can have street smarts. Not a lot of people can have both. And just to Mark's credit, he pointed out like he had both. He had some book smarts and he had some street smarts. You just didn't really see that because it wasn't promoted like that. But just because it wasn't promoted or pushed like that in the movie doesn't mean it hasn't been applied and we can't see that already.
Exactly,
So
man.
so like they didn't have to come out and necessarily say it. Although having like a little cool backstory on who he was as a character, like previously, like coming up, because we got that a little bit with Winthrop. We didn't really get that much with Billy Ray.
Oh yeah, he was learning, he was learning, business language and that we learn in college at 2 months old. He was able to have the valuable resources around him, at his dismay, and he was able to thrive. And if you gave Billy Ray those same opportunities, he probably would be he more likely would have been bigger than Winthrop.
Well, of course, because I mean, dude, like what Quez said is like his personality, right? It was very
Yeah,
bold, like what he would do. It was bold. It was a risk taking thing. And guess what? That's literally the stock market. His entire personality was the stock market, which what they were betting their whole finances on. So it just kind of all ties back in together, right? So yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. And then Louis, while Billy Ray is thriving in the business world, Louis is going through it, man. I cannot imagine, bro. I cannot imagine being a multimillionaire and just like that, you can't get you have no money. They seize your accounts. Your friends don't want to do with you. Your girl just up and leaves you. And even your own butler don't act like you don't know you. I cannot imagine what that's like. He's going through it, and, he was able to meet Ophelia, Jamie Lee Curtis's character. And I gotta say, I really enjoyed their relationship in this movie. Ophelia is a prostitute. She's a prostitute. She's a small town girl, but she
I
has
wouldn't
goals.
care if you was a prostitute and that you hit every man that you ever knew.
All right, bro. All right, now. But no, okay, but listen. So she's a small town girl, but she has a plan. Like she has goals. She saved up for $40,000, and she plans on buying a house, and retiring pretty much, right? And she takes Winthrop in because she believes that, okay, this man may not be bullshitting, like he really may come have some money with him. And I really enjoyed the relationship because I thought what was really ironic in Wardrobe's situation, even at his lowest point, he found a real one in Ophelia. He found a real one because she fed him, she took care of him when he was sick, she held him down. She held him down till he got up on his feet, right? And
Oh,
it
you
wasn't
forgot
like
one important thing too, bro.
what's that?
She sent the John home to hang out with Winthrop,
Yes,
bro. Like that fool brought
Yes,
flowers and she still sent this sorry self home.
Yeah, that is crazy, bro.
yes, she did. She sent him home, bro. She sent him home, and it wasn't necessarily like a race thing because it's she was a white woman. She said that I'm small town. You probably don't even know the city that I'm from whatsoever, and it's not a class thing either because she lived in the hood. Like she lived in the hood of Philadelphia. Like she walked around like she had respect from the brothers. She was like, hey, Muhammad, Larry, what's up? And all that. Like, hey, what's up, Ophelia? And all that's like they all respected each other. And then I love it. I was like, wait, you know those people? you know, and at the end of the day, Winthrop was willing to find when his fullest shit, chick leaves him when she's down and out. He was able to find someone, a real one, and he found some nice little hood chick that he fell in love with. And I really enjoyed the relationship and the authenticity of it. I bought it, I believed it, and definitely the relationship between Ophelia and Winthrop was one of my favorite parts of the movie. Quez, Mark, how'd y'all feel about Ophelia and her role in the movie and her relationship with Winthrop?
Honestly, I think it happened like really fast. I don't hate it, but I just think it happened like they weren't even friends. It was just like boom, you see my titties, boom, we're in a relationship, and I'm like, okay, damn,
Well,
that
because
was
Marcus,
quick.
I remember Marcus because at first she was like, "No, I mean, I'm just protecting my investment whatsoever." So she wasn't completely an angel, but she was starting to fall for him though.
Yeah, I mean, the moment she laid in bed with him and was like, "I'm just protecting my investment," I'm like, nah, you've been looking for somebody like this your whole life. This is what you've been waiting for.
And she was on the outside at first though, too.
Yup, she was.
Yeah, she was an opera first, but she was just a chick that just got out of jail, just trying to make a quick buck. Like she didn't really understand the severity of the situation. Quez, how'd you feel about Ophelia and their relationship with Winthrop?
um,
Oh
I
no!
believe I believe in notion. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved.
Oh wait,
Um,
you think it was like that, bro?
I mean, she was a prostitute, man. At the same time, my man fell for it. I'm not saying she didn't have a nice personality, but she
do you remember when she was
She was
just
arguably
getting? Do you remember when she got
she was
approached
probably the
at
most
the
underrated
courthouse after
person in
her
the
case
movie.
was over? Do you remember when her case got over at the courthouse? And then her and Winthrop had that encounter, and then she was like, "You really want to do this right here and now for everybody? Well, it's gonna cost you this and this and that." And like, bro, she got straight back into business with it. She was reserved. Was like, "You want to do this here and now? Are you going to exchange some pleasantries?" But she still was good. She still was down for it. I'm like, "Oh, bro, no."
she
But
a businesswoman.
for sure, like she gotta get that bottom dollar because she gotta get paid. She gotta keep that place. Gotta get a place to live. Gotta get that bail for every time she get caught. You know what I'm saying? So, which overall, her character, I see how beneficial she was later on for Winthrop, but at the same time, you cannot turn a whore into a housewife.
Man.
And anytime they was close and she gave that kiss on the nose or checked on real close, I'm thinking like, I know
Watch
where
out.
that.
Watch where you're going with this, Quez.
Bro, she was moving too fast, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah, she was, and I'm just saying, like she Winthrop should have been like, I know where your mouth been. I don't know where your mouth been, but I know where it shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
I knew it. I knew it.
I mean, given her line of profession, I think that's a very valid question to ask. Like, I don't see anything wrong with it, bro. You know, like, dude, it literally happened. Like, I don't know how that happened that fast. Like, I don't know, man. He was so
You,
down
Mark,
doing
you already
drugs.
said it. Mark, you already said it. She's seen an opportunity and chased it.
She did.
You
She
may you
did.
may catch you may catch subsequent feelings on the way. They may not be full on love feelings, but we also got to incorporate this incorporation with this part of the movie and the time period in it too. This was the 80s. People call themselves falling in love and falling fast, or at least getting bodies, tapping whatever they was tapping, and just being those free spirits. And it happened fast like that in those times, dog. So this was their norm. And it didn't care like what type of person you were and what line of work you were in. Yes, there was still that stigma, but back then a lot of people didn't really care because they already knew what it was for, and people was just horny back then.
Yeah, pretty much.
I get what y'all was saying. Like I get what y'all was saying, but the craziest thing about that is
She's
the
a
craziest part
hoe.
about this whole thing was okay, sure, but the horror, ironically, was probably the most good-hearted person in the movie because okay, yes, you had Coleman,
They
but Coleman
usually
was kind
are,
of
bruh.
shady. Coleman was kind of shady. He had to act like he didn't know Winthrop. You know, like all Winthrop's friends were full of shit. The most good-hearted person was the whore.
I mean, I think the slimiest person in that movie was that girl that he was with. I know it may not seem like it, but she threw herself at
Nope.
Winthorpe. And then the moment he
Penelope
lost
was
all
the
the
most.
money, yeah, dude, if you really think about it, right, she was no different than Jamie in the movie, right? She was no different. It's just that she was able to hide herself better behind the glitz and glamour of having money and all this and that. She saw an opportunity and she took it, right? I want you. I need you, Winthorpe, and all this other stuff. The
She was
moment she got
watching. She
Oh,
fast forwarded to watch Edge
that
in
scene was funny.
2006. Ultimate Opportunities.
the ultimate, she cashed in. She cashed in on him. And the moment he had
But
to
that
get
scene was
bailed
funny
out,
too.
she's like, "Ill, you stink. You're
You're embarrassing me.
But that scene, but that scene was funny too. He's like, I got beat up. They stole my clothes. Don't have sex with me.
they tried to bend me over," and he was he was yelling out loud, bro. I was like, damn,
Oh, and
they
I
really
thought it was
tried
so
you, bro.
funny. And I thought it was so funny how he always had to correct everybody. It wasn't heroin. It was angel dust. It was PCP.
Like if you gonna
Like,
lock me up
Like you
on
said, the
drugs,
part.
get it right.
get it right, bro. Like he was offended that like people thought he was selling the wrong stuff when he wasn't selling at all.
Dude
Uh,
sound bro, he was sounding like he was in a Vlad TV interview every time he had to bring that up.
just self snitching. Like, hey, bro. First of all, I didn't kill 5 people. I killed 4. Get it right, bro. Like, come on. It's like, bro, come on, man. You can't just say it was
But that's
Angel
a but
does
that
PCP like that's normal.
but that goes to show that Winthrop is one of those guys who always has to. He's such a narcissist. He just has to prove that he's the smartest guy in the room, like even at his detriment. But that's a great. That Penelope is the most slimiest one in this movie because of how quick she changed on Winthrop. I thought that was funny. And they were at the dinner table, like I was like, oh my God, you had to deal with that mean man. And then Winthrop was like, well, I had to do what I had to do, like,
Yeah.
no, like it was again Dan Aykroyd's old posh pompous arrogance was and just to see him crash out was great. First of all, the fact that this man was willing to buy a gun and get drugs for $50 in 1983 was crazy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That's a little much. I'm not gonna lie.
In 19, you're able to buy a gun and drugs and well, for $50 back. God damn. Louis crash out. Louis crashing out. How did y'all feel about Dan Aykroyd and his performance of him just crashing out? Him in the Santa suit, stuffing salami in his beard, trying to frame Ray. And you're right, Mark. It got a little dark for a second there, but he tried to lead himself in the street.
Bro, you seen that? And he got lucky because when he threw it, it went off. Like,
that's the epitome of down bad. That's the epitome of down bad.
You can't even control
alt
delete yourself, bro. Like,
he got lucky. He got lucky twice because he took them downers in the bathroom. And if Billy Ray and Ophelia ain't there in time, he would have died right there. Bro, I honestly feel, bro, if Ophelia does not bring him in that night when we throw him out on the bank, he probably would have deleted himself that night. So
yeah, because she touched his hands, remember, at the taxi scene, bro, and she's like, "You've never worked a hard day in your life." Him having to like readjust to being a poor man, it was literally killing him, for better or worse, right? It was literally killing him. Like, he could not deal with that. And so
y'all forgot.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead, my fault. No, go ahead, my fault.
Well, no, I was just gonna say, like, for him to see himself like in that position was something he thought he would never have to do. So it was like, I might as well just leave Earth. That's kind of how I thought his thought process was there.
And then also, and I'm glad you brought that up. Oh, go ahead, Quest. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say real quick, there was a third moment where he got super lucky when he had that gun and he pulled the gun out around all those people, and there was like there was security and there was a cop there, and he pulled the gun out on them and threatened them. He's lucky he ain't get shot.
I mean, well, he wasn't Billy Ray, so you know.
Yeah. Facts.
He's white. Yeah, he's a white man, Quest.
That privilege still kind of work even when you poor, man.
But he was still though, like he could have gotten shot.
He really could have, honestly.
But I'm glad you brought up, Mark, with the hands his way. It kind of again shows the lifestyle. Like this man hasn't had to work. Like, he doesn't even know how to hustle. He has no clue how to hustle. But with Billy Ray, his mentality is, look, I'm gonna make it happen. How I'm gonna make it happen? Like, if I gotta scam, if I gotta juggle my pennies in a can, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make it happen. Because that's his mentality. Like, he moves like a hustler. Billy Winthrop has no clue. So his crash out, some people thought it was funny. I thought it was entertaining, but damn near sad at the same time. Yeah, how'd you feel about Dan Aykroyd's performance of just him just completely crashing out and almost calling it quits?
I mean, well, that's what I'm saying. That, to me, that's not even funny. That was bro, people do that in real life when they lose everything, right? And they've never had to work hard. Like you said, they don't know how to get it out the mud for real. So to them, it's like, well, if I don't have this anymore, I mean, you saw it. He's walking around. Oh, Philly. Well, he didn't even know her name yet, but he's like, look, I got $150,000 in that bank. They don't give these kind of cards to just anybody. These are good in 86 different countries. And he's just still thinking, even though he know that he's down on his luck, bro, he's still going to every single reserve he has to feel like he is still the same person he was before he lost his position. He's going through all the different feelings, all the different stages of it. And then at the very last moment, when like he realizes, I've been replaced, there's nothing I can do about it. He don't know if he's been set up. He don't even know what's happened yet. All he knows is, I've lost everything. And he's like, you know what, bro? I don't want to live anymore because I've lost my girl. I've lost my status. I've lost my purpose. And that's how he looked at it. So that's what I mean. Like, this movie, sure, there are moments that are funny, but this is not a comedy. I'm gonna keep like just hammering that point home. Like, this is not a comedy, man. This is you're watching someone who is crash out because of the simple fact they cannot live the life that they were so accustomed to. Like if Billy Ray lost his position and he never found out about their plan to like get rid of him and blah blah blah, guess what? He would have went back to doing exactly what he did before, like you said, James. He would have hustled. He would have found a way,
Yep.
even if he wasn't, living a lavish life. He would have did enough just to survive. So, yeah, the crash out performance was great though. He did a great job in selling that, eating the meat. Actually, he wasn't even eating the meat. Bro was eating the beard off the Santa costume. He was so down bad he didn't even pull the hair off the meat, bro. He was just eating it. He was just going crazy.
Quez, how'd you feel about Winthrop's crash out? Quez, perhaps step away. All right, yeah, for sure. Oh, I just thought about this too. I just thought about this. Now, Mark, how would you feel about this little tweak to the script? I literally just thought about this. I loved Jamie Lee Curtis and her performance as affiliate in the relationship with Dan Aykroyd. Now, Mark, how does this little change?
Okay.
It's you take and you make her a black woman.
Well, see that's what I'm saying. I think that's like
and Winthrop falls in love
with a black woman.
Now, keep in mind. I noticed 1983 and been ready for that 1983. You take Jamie Lee Curtis out and you replace Ray Dong Chong or Pam Grier, and then you make Lois Winthrop fall in love with a black woman from the hood, bro. And he spends the rest of his life with her, bro. Bro, that would have made that would have made the movie a little bit strong, bro. A little stronger, I should say.
I think it was fine how it is. My thing is, I feel like it's okay to have a white person be portrayed as, someone who lives, in like less fortunate conditions, because it does happen. I'm actually all for them not having everyone in the movie who is down on their luck and not having a great life be black. I think it just adds more like humanity to the movie of like you can be any color and you can still be down on your luck and have to do different things to make something happen. So I get what you're saying. 100% I do. I think you still could have got a good story out of that, and you still could have gotten maybe even a bigger impact with him, especially after knowing what they said about Eddie Murphy's character, and I don't want a nigger running my company and all that different stuff. I think, yeah, you could have definitely made something happen there for sure, but I think it's fine how it is. Like changing it to me, I don't think really hurts it or helps it. It just kind of stays the exact same.
Or how about this? I just want to look. I think this would have been fun. I thought this was going to happen initially. Bro, what if Billy Ray sleeps with Penelope? And all throughout the movie, Penelope is sprung and is chasing Billy Ray all throughout South Philly.
I mean, that would have been hilarious. I mean, dude, you know what? I thought that was going to happen with that dude's wife. I thought that was going to happen. Remember at the table?
I think it did happen. It didn't show it.
Okay. Because I'm like, she clearly did. She clearly had fever. You know what I'm saying? She had jungle fever.
Hey, Mark. So I got a joke to tell you. So I'm gonna put an S on my car, and you know what people are gonna say when I'm driving down the road? Look at that S car go! Like, bro.
Ha 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 ha! So funny. That's how everyone laughed at it, though. It's so funny. Yeah, S cargo. Yeah, it's great. You know what's funny about that scene too, though, is like, this is what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if this is the part where I don't know if this was a test or if it was just people. I don't know how to describe it, but in that same scene when they started asking Billy about the stock projections, the music
Yep.
went out. Everyone stopped what they were mid conversation and just turned and looked. And I'm like, I don't know if this is a test. I don't know if they're like, this Negro ain't finna predict no accurate stock. I don't know what that was. I'm still trying to figure out what was the meaning behind that scene right there because I still don't know.
That's a good point because that was wild. Everybody started staring. That reminded me on some Jordan Peele type shit. But
Bro, yes, it was so
uh,
strange.
it was very strange. Quez, you good?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to ask you before you had issues. How'd you feel about Dan Aykroyd performance during his crash out?
As an actor, he did a great job. It was believable in a scenario where it's like you have nothing else to live for. People don't think rationally. They can't think rationally at that point because like can't get nothing worse, right? So it's like I'm gonna go after the one person that made my life a living hell, which coincidentally is the one person I framed that like it was gonna steal from me. I call that karma, but in his mind, it's redemption or revenge after he's seen that it was Ray's fault that his life is the way it is, even though it's not. A lot of misguidance, a lot of assuming, and a lot of bad decisions. But Aykroyd played it to a great level, so salute to him.
So we get to he's crashed. He almost checks, and then Dan Aykroyd and Billy Ray are finally. By the way, that was another great scene too, when Dan Aykroyd was in the cab and then Billy Ray was in the limousine, and he was like, "Yo, that looks just like the guy that got me busted." Like right there, dude, right there. And then right when they were driving past each other, Aykroyd was like, "That's my car."
Man's just yelling out the window, bro. Window down and everything. Like,
It's my car.
it's my car.
Bro, that would come on, like we all know that would piss either one of us off, bro. Like he's driving my car.
I mean, yeah, especially like when you don't understand what's going on and you're like, wait, ain't this the guy I got arrested? Why he? Yeah, I would have crashed out too. I'm not gonna lie. But you know what though? I will say this back to what Quez was saying though about you know, karma and whatnot. It just kind of tells that character again of like where he came from, where to him, someone of a lower status, even though it was an accident, everyone around him knew that was an accident of him bumping into him because obviously Billy was scared when he saw the cops. He wasn't even in trouble, by the way, y'all. He wasn't even in trouble. They stopped him because of the whole like, hey, we got, suspicions of people coming around scamming people, right? And they just kind of let him go. Like, okay, you just go on, just stop doing this. He immediately sees the cops, bro. I can see it's a miracle. It's a miracle. He was going crazy, bro. That was a great scene too. But like, dude, he's walking away and he sees the cops and he's like, oh shit. He starts to go back the other way, right? So he's trapped into his own little box right there. And he bumps into Winthorpe, and it's a complete accident. But the way Winthorpe sees it is this man just tried to assault me because once again, he's never been in that side of where he's had to be put under pressure or something's bad happened to him. So like to him, it's assault. And he's black. He's trying to steal my briefcase. He's trying to steal the projections, the money, all this different stuff. So that scene was nothing but just trying to, I feel like, flesh out his character more to make you understand that once again, he is so pompous and so full of himself and where he's at in his position that everyone else to him is a low life. And if you even come close to him, you're threatening him. So, yeah.
Absolutely. So Billy Ray, finally, he eavesdropped during the Duke's conversation while he was smoking weed. By the way, again, the nigga was still inside him no matter what, and
Yeah.
and yeah,
And the
and
stall.
In
I
the
had to
stall,
open up
bro.
that. I had to open up that vent. And get, bro, let's smoke through this.
I was wondering what he had put in his pocket when when Winthorpe came in there with the gun.
that was a joint.
Yeah,
It was a
it
joint.
was, I was like, oh, yep, he had to get a little weed in him. Okay.
And
Man, hot
so,
box to the bathroom stall.
Bro, in the Duke and Duke headquarters though.
Mm.
and so he drops on the Duke. That's where we get the famous like, we'll never give this company to a nigger, like that whole conversation, which was crazy to hear. And and so and I just love how when Winthorpe wakes up in his bed, he thinks it's a dream. I just love he's still in crash out mode, where the moment he sees Valentine, the first thing he did is just, I'm gonna kill this motherfucker. So he goes to choke him.
You ruined my life.
My life was ruined by some Negro. And he just looks up, it's like, I'll kill you.
And then once Billy Ray explains to him what happened, what's so funny, Winthorpe was turning some street shit. Like he starts loading up his guns.
Yeah, like bro pulled out every shotgun he had in the house. I'm like, wait a minute, what are we doing? We finna kill him?
Yeah, his first thought was to kill him. And when I first saw that Market Quest, I'm like, oh, well, I mean, he's not necessarily wrong, but like, so. And I love how Eddie Murphy said, man, you can't be going around shooting people in the kneecaps with a double barrel shotgun, man.
Yeah, that is
and why
nasty
not?
work.
He said, and why not? Because that's assault with a deadly weapon. You'll get 20 years for that shit. I just love, but again, it kind of goes to show, that how smart Billy Ray is. Like his first thought is, let's attack them, let's get them where it hurts in their pockets. While Winthorpe was on, again, he was on some crash out street shit, but I thought it was hilarious.
Speaking of pockets, speaking of pockets, did y'all catch how much that bet was that the brothers did?
$1.
They said it was the usual.
Yep, it was the usual.
Hey, Mark, you remember when James was tweaking that we got $1?
Yep, $1.
After seeing this movie again, I'm just like, I was wrong on that. But,
yeah, you see how powerful $1 can be? You see that?
Yeah.
How much does $1 really cost?
Hey, real. Dude, no, I just realized something. We haven't talked about this scene. This was in the beginning. We didn't even talk about it. I don't know how we skipped this. Remember when this was before they started making the bet. So like we didn't even know they were supposed to be like the most evil characters in the movie yet. But they're sitting there and they're like reading through like the papers and stuff, and the butler comes by and like, oh, Urza, whatever his name was, right on top.
Yes.
Dude, they gave him what was it, $5 or something like that? It was some stupid.
$5.
Oh, that Christmas bonus.
The Christmas bonus, $5.
That Christmas bonus.
And he's like, oh yay, I can finally go to the movies by myself. And that right there was the scene that made me realize these are some evil people, because once again, they're looking at them like low lives. You are nothing to them. Here's
he said,
$5.
Hey, and the other brother's like, yo, half of that is mine. I put in on that $5.
Yeah, like yo, $2.50 means something to me. Like, come on. $5.
Oh, and also too, and Mark and Quez. I forgot I was gonna bring this up. Remember those characters came back and Coming to America?
Did they?
Yeah, the Duke brothers. Like remember the scene when Akeem and Lisa are going on their date and they stop by these two homeless people and then they give them some money and he goes,
Oh, that was
"When
them.
yeah."
What a callback.
That is such an Easter egg. It's like, look at how far y'all fell. Now y'all boys is poor and just messed up. That's crazy.
Yeah, I thought that was a great callback. Absolutely. So they get the plan and then this is when Clarence Beeks, mean ass, comes into play. First of all, when he's on the phone and the woman's just waiting when he goes, "Fuck off."
For no reason. She's just sitting there waiting her turn. Ain't even told you to hurry up or nothing. Fuck off.
He was a
All
mean bastard, bro. The late great Paul Gleason. He was, for those of you, he was the principal on Breakfast Club, and he was in Die Hard. Great actor. They do this elaborate scheme to get the report that he was going to give to the Duke boys. So they want to steal his briefcase, right? Get the report. And this is when we start getting ridiculous. I will admit that it's funny, but it gets ridiculous, right? And Quez, this was the scene I thought we were gonna get under your skin. When Winthorpe walked in that room going, I certainly hope there's enough space on the train for me.
Oh, that's the part you thought was gonna get, Quiz? I'm thinking about the one after that.
Oh, which one?
You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Quiz, unfortunately, Quiz had to leave though because he got to work early in the morning. So, but dude, that scene with Mr. Blackface,
yeah. When this man, yeah, but listen, again, this is the early 1980s, bro. Like this is when you could get away with being ridiculous. You could get away with being very racist. You could be blatantly racist back then, and no one would say anything about it. But I thought it was funny. I thought his Jamaican accent was very funny, bro. Like you think, Dickie, you remember Lionel Joseph?
That was funny. They were just saying the random stuff, bro.
Shit, bro. I thought that scene is fucking hilarious. And of course, Jamie Lee Curtis being the sweetest chick, Coleman being on it as the priest. This is where I say Beeks low-key sucks at his job. Now, there's no way Beeks would have had those people in his car. The moment Eddie Murphy walks in, the first thing you would have told him to do is get the hell out.
Dude, he was checking the entire thing before he even walked fully in there. It was almost like no one should have been in his room anyways.
Yes, exactly.
So it was kind of strange.
It should not have gotten that far. And then you have to see, and then John Belushi makes an appearance. Jim Belushi's brother as the gorilla. It becomes nonsense, right? And like Merry New Year, like
it was getting stupid, bro. It was getting very stupid, very fast.
But I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was hilarious. And they eventually were able. They got caught. They easily got caught. I think that's what made it funny because it didn't work. And then even though I thought it was a little too easy how Beeks got beat, the little thump in the head by the gorilla. Which that gorilla he already had a beef with Beeks because Beeks was mocking him in the train.
Yeah.
And the gorilla at him like, I can't wait to beat your ass.
Well, just wait till I get my hands on you, motherfuckers.
Yo, don't mock gorillas, bro, in the zoo. Don't mock them. They'll never forget.
Little did he know, though, what he was going to get in the end, which we'll talk about that. Yeah.
Oh, God. So So they was able to get the report, and they're going to head to New York and pretty much go thwart the Dukes and pretty much hit them where it hurts, is in their pockets. So, so Mark, how'd you feel about the whole train situation? Winthrop first instinct is start shooting and killing everybody. And the whole caper of getting Beaks up out of here.
Dude, this is around the part where I just started thinking the movie was falling apart. Like I kind of just started losing the plot, bro. Like, and I think I know what happened. I think it just literally became a thing of time constraint where movie was only like, if you take out the intro and then the outro, the credits and everything, the movie is literally like an hour and 38 minutes or something like that. It's a very short film. And so I think towards the end, it was like, we got to hurry up and get all our stuff in, right? Like that's what it felt like. And so I just really didn't care for this ending. Did I think it was funny? Yes. But given what we had already saw and how well they fleshed out everything with the time they had, this just felt like, yeah, I don't know. I didn't like it, bro. I really didn't. But I did enjoy the part, obviously, about the shotgun. Bro was ready to go out and just kill everybody. I thought that was
everybody,
great,
bro. Everybody.
That was awesome. But yeah, the train stuff, I was lost. But I mean, at the very least, the guy in the gorilla costume, it became like part of the story towards the end. So I guess it makes sense. But yeah,
bro, real Beaks, this ironic last name, but bro, Beaks, man, this man got shipped off to Africa. and with that gorilla stroke. Oh god, you know his last, those last 4-5 hours was probably hell, bro. You saw that look on his face at the end.
Dude, with what's his name? When he got knocked out, right? So like in the train scene, when he's got the gun pointed all over, when he finally figured out, wait, I'm being duped. I don't know how it took him that long, but he figured it out. He's in the room with him. The dude in the gorilla fit comes by, and then he gets knocked down. The gorilla's like, I know you just say knock out my man or I don't know if that was a female. I'm sure it was a male. I'm assuming that was a male gorilla supposed to be in that cage. It's like, I know you just say knock out my girl.
Because I think the people that were supposed to look out for the gorilla said that Beaks was in the outfit. That's a female.
Okay, so Beaks ended up being the girl. Okay, so here, yes. You know what's funny about that, bro? If you really think about it, they kind of told you this was going to happen from the beginning, though, of the movie, because it was a lot of just scenes where it's like, remember when Eddie Murphy got in the car with the guys, and he's like, I'm not going to say the word he said, but like, he's like, wait, yeah, y'all going to do this to, wait, something ain't right here. Then he goes into the jacuzzi. He's like, I know what you are. You guys are this. And then at the jail place, it happens again to both him and Winthrop. So like, it was implied that somebody was gonna get it. Somebody was gonna get it.
Somebody was gonna get beat.
Somebody gonna get beat. Dude, you could tell he got violated, bro, because like at the end when they put him inside the cage, the gorilla just grabbed.
He looks so worn out, bro.
No, I'm talking about before that, like when they first put him in there. That's when he got broke in, bro, because you saw his eyes, bro. They just opened wide.
Yo, bro, and then, like I said, that look in his eye at the very end, but he looks so worn out, but he can't get. I think they duct taped his mouth. I think they super glued that fucking thing on his hand. So
Bro,
like, there's
he's
nothing he
basically
can
gonna
do.
die. He's gonna die like
He's
that,
gonna
bro.
die in that outfit, bro.
In Africa with his gorilla man. Bro, you're right though. At the end, bro, he was so worn out. He didn't even try to speak up. He was just like, "It is what it is. I'm a girl now, and I'm getting broken by a gorilla. It is what it is. Like,
this is my life now.
This is what it is." Why is that so funny? That should not be that funny, but it is.
It shouldn't be funny, man. But I mean, because Beaks was such a savage. He was such an asshole in the movie. He had it coming. Like he had that coming, bro. Yeah. And Beaks was the one that initially framed Winthorpe in the first place too, by slipping the money in his in his jacket, placing the drugs in his jacket and all that stuff. So Beaks and the Dukes were the biggest criminals in this movie. So then we get to which, by the way, too, I thought the Dukes can't be that damn stupid, but when they gave him the money, I just like, bro, that ain't Beaks.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, it stands the way he's talking. Come on, bro. Y'all know who this is, dog. Like, come on.
So then we get to now I will say this, because the Dukes are such assholes, the finale was very satisfying, where they go to New York to the stock market exchange. And now I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna act like I know what they did, because that stock market shit confuses the hell out of me. But whatever they did was enough to bring down Duke and Duke, and they were able to use Coleman's life savings, and was able to use the 40 grand that Ophelia. First of all, 40 grand, bro. She earned that, bro. She earned that shit the long way and hard way, literally.
I'm crying. So that is, you are
like,
so wrong for that.
Like she did, bro. Like she did, but like she earned that, bro. She was probably charging like what, like I want, this is 1983, so maybe like $20 a session, like, bro, like.
Yeah, she had to work some long hours for that one, bro. No doubt about it,
bro. Yeah, because she was a hustler. Look, she said, "Hey man, God gave me this body and then this face, and I gotta use what I got, to get what I want,
She made it work, bro. She made it work.
Yeah. She said, what she told him, like, yo, everything costs, including me. I was like, first of all, you can't just take off your top like that, looking how you look, bro, and not expect me to.
I mean, it's just kind of strange though, how like she's like, you're sleeping on the couch, then like the next day he's sick, and it's like, I'm in love with you. I'm like, well, okay, okay, sure. I'm telling you, bro, it was just a very fast progression. That's all.
But listen, bro, if I'm sick and then I got a woman like Jamie Lee Curtis, willing to lay next to me, half naked, bro, yeah, I'll recover real quick.
Man, I'm not sick at all. Matter of fact, I've never been this healthy before in my life.
Never been this healthy. And also too, and I gotta get this, when they kissed on the train, but that was a moment, right? That was the moment where Quez said, hey, don't save her. She don't want to be saved, but but you can say he may have simped a little bit, but that was a moment there. So to get to the stock exchange. And by the way, you could tell that Eddie Murphy improvised this. I think you know what scene I'm talking about, bro. I think he improvised a lot of his scenes in this movie. Mm-hmm. But when Winthorpe was giving him the pep talk about how to handle things in there, what did Eddie Murphy say? He said, "We're gonna kill those motherfuckers. We're gonna kill them."
He had to stop himself. Like, we're gonna kill him. We're gonna kill him.
Well, this is how I know. This is how great Eddie is. You can tell that a lot of those lines were not written down. those felt so authentically him. Like, you know, and then when we had no bubbles in the we had the foot in the tub, you know, like when Eddie's like cooking, when he's going, you can tell that's him. You know, the whole Karate Man thing, you know, when he's, the scene when he's like, all this is mine, huh? And he's like putting all the shit in his jacket and all that stuff. He's like, I swear, this happened to me at least like once a week, you know, like.
Yeah.
But y'all don't know how great Prime Eddie was, man. So they get to the stock exchange, and they pretty much bring down Duke and Duke. And funny enough, and I love how they got them back with the, oh yeah, by the way, Wendorf didn't think we would be rich and put y'all in the poorhouse. And I thought so. And I won, and I lost. I guess we bet $1. I thought, nice.
Yo, it was just a callback to that original scene, and when they found out they got played, yeah,
it was fantastic. And I want to ask you this, Mark. So Winthorpe and Billy Ray, they're wealthy. Hell, like when Winthorpe, he got his own money. He ain't relying on Duke and Duke no more. Like he's on a yacht with Jamie Lee Curtis in a bikini, drinking mimosas. He's winning. Eddie Murphy on an island with a bad chick himself. But even Coleman was living his best life.
Now, I was going to say, don't count out Coleman, bro. He had him a young one for his age, bro.
Yes, he did. Now, I want to ask you this, Mark. Do you think Winthorpe becomes a better person, or did you think that he learned anything at the end? Do you think he becomes a better person at the end of this?
Yes, because in the beginning he could not even stand being around black people. Now he can, right? Like, I'm not saying he's a perfect person, far from it, but I do think that the whole experience of being poor, it changed him, right? Like, and see, that's the weird thing about movies like this, is where you don't really have a timetable in like how fast things are happening, right? So like, from my knowledge, and I could be wrong, there was like 2 or 3 scenes where you went through day and you went through night, right? So like, I would imagine all this in terms of just like a storyline, right? We don't know for real, but just based off how the story progressed, I would imagine all this happened within like a week. Because like, even when they made the bet, bro, we didn't really get a time frame of like how long this bet was supposed to last. It was just, I guarantee you, we could make this guy better than Winthorpe if we actually tried. And so we didn't even know what the time frame was. So I would imagine, just given like a week or maybe 2 weeks during this time of being down on his luck, he was able to, like, once again, we don't see any of this, but I would imagine they want you to think he's maybe interacted with some of those people who were standing outside of Ophelia's place.
Yep.
And he just got more accommodated to being, I guess, a common person now. Also, exactly. I do want to point this out too. No, go ahead. You got it.
What I like to think, because I would have liked a little moment, like just a little moment where look, at the end of the day, they're gonna be cool because with Billy Ray. So that's always gonna bring people closer together. But I would have liked just a little moment where he just kind of like looks at Billy Ray and goes like, "Hey man, I'm sorry for getting, like, I thought my shit didn't stink, and now I know what it's like now." Like I think that Winthorpe is a little bit more appreciative of his city, because he had just a cup of coffee being at the bottom, and he could not handle that shit. So I want to think that he's a little bit more appreciative now of being, again, on a yacht, on an island with a young prime Jamie Lee Curtis in a bikini on them kisses. Like,
yeah.
I'm pretty he's always more appreciative to Coleman. And like you said, well, maybe he's more appreciative to the common folk, like interacting with the people to talk to. Like that's why I at least like to hope that's what happens to Winthrop.
Yeah, like I said, I really hope that's the case. And I think if they had more time, they could have showed that. But just given time constraint, they were like, we gotta just go and hope that the viewer can, figure it out. That's kind of how I looked at it. And you know what's funny about this like final scene is that I said earlier that this was like an exaggeration on like, how bookies do stuff when it comes to stock exchanges. But around this time period, if you actually go look back, like there's plenty of videos, I'm pretty sure on YouTube and stuff. It's like you look up like how it was around for the New York Stock Exchange back in the day. That's literally how it was. Like legit, people were in a frenzy, losing their minds, walking around with pieces of paper trying to figure out, do we buy, do we sell? And it literally was like what's the word they use when people like storm like a store? I forgot the word. It's like on the tip of my tongue and I can't remember it. But
I can't think of it.
Yeah, just for some reason it's not clicking. But you get what I'm trying to say, and that's literally how it was for the New York Stock Exchange back in the 80s and 90s and even like the early 2000s before things became like, on your cell phone and you could do stuff that way. So it wasn't a bad interpretation of how things were because they really were like that. People were fighting like tooth and nail. It was a bloodbath out there because this was their entire finances on the line, bro. Their entire life. You heard it. What I don't know if it was Winthrop who said it or if it was Billy Ray. I can't remember. They were like, "This is the difference between sending your kids to colleges or having to get your Bentley repossessed," and that's literally how it was, bro. Yep. That's how it was.
And I've seen like I've gone back and looked at like old 80s New York stock market, bro. It really was like that, just chaos everywhere, papers flying everywhere, bro. Like you really gotta be to be in that world. One, you really gotta know what you're doing, and you really gotta handle pressure in there, bro.
Yeah. You have to. You really do, bro. Because you're in there with people who are putting millions
with sharks. You're in there with sharks,
literally, and they will eat you alive, bro. To get, I mean, you saw it at the end, bro. His brother up there about to die. He's like, I don't care, man. You better go in there and sell these stocks, man.
Live like fuck him.
I'm like, damn. I go to show you, bro. They don't even care about each other. It was always about money for them, making bets, making gambles. And that's the thing about the stock market, right? It's the same thing as like you going to a casino. It's a rush, right? The feeling of what if this hits? Oh, we're super rich now. And to see it hit, there's no better feeling of gratification than something like that. And so obviously when they saw their stock going down from the fake report they got from the fake Beaks being Eddie Murphy, they started losing their mind. You didn't even throughout that entire film, they were so cool, calm, and collected, bro. It's like nothing could touch them. The beginning of the movie, they're walking around like, "Oh, we just made $394,000." No, just whatever. Like everything was all good and great.
Yeah, we just made $300,000. Like it was just like not a big deal to them.
No, it was like we should have actually made more, but we still made money. Like it, but it wasn't enough, right? And so when they get towards the end and we're watching them lose all their money, you see a complete switch in character. And by the way, you saw that switch in everybody in this movie. There was a switch in character for every single person, right? Jamie Lee Curtis had a switch after she got like out of the jail, right? Her character completely switched.
Yep.
With her and Winthrop. Winthrop completely switched the moment he lost his job. Eddie's character completely switched the moment he realized the realization of the money and the responsibilities that come with the money. We saw every single character change. Even the butler, man, the butler had a change. And you could see it slowly happening when he spent time around Eddie Murphy because everybody else was so devoid of life and they didn't even know how to be a human anymore. So the fact he was around someone who didn't know the lifestyle, who wasn't accustomed to that, wasn't used to it, it was refreshing and you could see it. Everyone had a character change. And so I give the movie credit for that 100%.
And also too, and I say this about Ophelia, he kind of comes across as a person, as the type of woman ain't afraid to check your ass. Like I think Louis needs a woman like that. That's not a woman that's not afraid of times, especially when he was crying and bitching about Billy Ray. Like she said, "Yo, you need to shut up." Like she wasn't afraid to check him. And sometimes, like you kind of with her, especially needed that. And here's another thing too. I'll say this first of all. Shout out to Dominic Samuels. Yeah, he actually broke it down because he's just as old as this movie. So he
you is not, bro. I swear, you man.
Shout out Dominic, bro. Shout out Dominic. But what he said that what happened at the end there was what they did was corner ice. It says it involves when you
Committee. He meant committee.
Will be trading. A committee will be trading for it when the price drops. You purchase the other brokers' losses. The difference in the price drops is how you make. You think it's worth $1? I think it's cents, and it stops at 75 cents, drop to 30 cents. Make money on the difference. So that's where characters made money that fast. Okay, all right, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay,
because see, they weren't. You got to remember, they weren't the people invested in the stock itself. They were telling their clients. It's like having a financial advisor, right? That's what they were. They were these billionaires, millionaires, financial advisors, and so they would tell them, "Hey, buy these stocks right now. Hey, sell these stocks right now." And whatever they did, depending on how many, by like the volume they sold, that's how much they would get in return for commission, depending on how big that sale was. So no matter if the person got rich off of it, no matter if the person lost a little bit, they would always get a commission. The problem comes in, though, when we see what happens at the end of the movie, when they put everything, they tell their clients, go everything. We put the whole house on this product right here. We going crazy over this frozen orange juice. Okay, we go bet it all. And the problem is, if all your clients lost money, you don't make any money. There is no commission to get if no one made money, right? So that's how everything came about. So yeah, Dominic is right. That's how it went down, bro. Yeah. They literally bet the house on one thing, and it came back and bit them.
Yeah, it did. It absolutely did. Now, when I go back to the whole does one to become a better person, you could flip this. I just thought about this. You could really ask yourself, well, if you really kind of think about it, Winthorpe really doesn't really have a damn thing to apologize for, because to be fair, to be honest, he didn't do anything wrong. They fucked his life up.
Yeah, they did. They really did, actually.
So, like, he really has nothing to really apologize for. If you just can look at it from both ends. But I just think, just from a moral standpoint, just as something that's small, like when they were in the bathroom fixing their hair whatsoever, I would have liked that little moment to kind of be like, "Oh, and by the way, Billy, sorry for getting you arrested." And you know what? And I know how Eddie likes to operate. I'm pretty sure Eddie probably would have looked back at him and said, "Yeah, man, and sorry for wearing your tie and driving in your car and fucking in your bed." You know, it's like just the quick, clean, boom, done, over. You know what I mean? but yeah. So at the end of the day, Billy Ray, hey, he wins. Winthrop got his redemption. I do think they remain friends at the end because let's be honest, Winthrop really has nobody to go back to. His own community left him pretty much, and Billy Ray doesn't really have nobody else to go to because he kicked all of them out at his house. So they got each other, and I thought it was a great ending. It was nice. It was great to see the Dukes again. Karma, karma hit them because they were the elite of the elite. So, imagine if Jeff Bezos or if Elon Musk. Imagine we hear something that everything that Elon or Jeff has is just gone. And just imagine how much those two probably would have crashed out, bro.
I mean, yeah.
I imagine being a multi-billionaire.
I mean, it wouldn't just be that. It wouldn't just be just them though. Like, it would be so many people that have like crazy amounts of money invested into those companies. They would lose everything. Like people that you're not even thinking of right now, who are like also in that same category of them as being like multi-billionaires and millionaires and stuff. Yeah, they would lose everything too. So it wouldn't be a pretty sight, bro.
No way. All right, so let's get into some awards. Of Trading Places 1983. Well, first off, let's go with the MVP. Was the MVP of Trading Places?
MVP. I'm giving that to Eddie Murphy.
Okay. Why you say everyone was the most important person in the movie?
I mean, I just think his character is. Once again, I said there was like two main characters, but I feel like his character is what brings everything full circle because his character, no one else's character gets, I guess, like a reshuffling or like exist if it's not for Eddie Murphy's character. So for him to be there and then also playing the role as good as he does, that's my MVP. The movie does not exist. It does not have a good cohesive story if there is nobody playing that character. And so I think Eddie Murphy knocked that out the park.
Okay. All right. For me, the easy pick. Oh, sure. The easy pick. It would be easy to say Eddie Murphy, obvious one. And I would say Eddie Murphy, but I'm gonna go different with this one. I would say the MVP of this movie was Jamie Lee Curtis, Ophelia.
Someone told me you was finna go that pick, bro. I don't know what it is. I kind of figured that.
Yeah, to me, she was MVP because one, she was the one she saved. Because I said earlier in the movie, I mean, I know Mark and Lee had different, but to me, movie is like the narrative pretty much mostly revolves around, like for the most part, Dan Aykroyd's character, and she saved his life. She saved his life, bro, and she held him down at his lowest point, and she saved up that 40. She saved up that 40 grand and gave that to Louis for him to flip.
Yeah.
To pretty much for him to get back on his feet. And Dominic says MVP was Coleman. Knew about the whole thing, but never switched up. Yeah, in a way, but I can't give it to Coleman because he went along with it though. He felt bad about it. You see it, especially he felt bad about it, but he still went along with it, which was again that shady on his part. But to me, Ophelia again held him down. like I said, in the most ironic thing in Louis' lowest point, he found a little hood chick from the hood, and found what was a real one and saved his life, and plus she was probably the biggest winner out of both of them, honestly, if you really think about it. Bro, a chick from a prostitute from the hood with 40 grand, we don't know. Her come up was multi-millions.
Oh yeah, bro. They all made out like bandits with that, because everything was bet. Everyone turned around and put their money on whatever they were invested in. So yeah, they became very, very rich.
Now, Mark, let me ask you this question: would you, if you was friends with Billy Ray or with Winthorpe, and they come up to you and say, "Hey, man, let me borrow this last bit of money in your savings. I promise you, by the end of the day, you'll be a very rich man." Would you get the money?
No. Like even knowing what I know now, I still wouldn't have gave it to him. It's too big of a risk. I would never do that. Plus, if I even
Coleman was scared, but he was like, "Man, I need a drink."
Dude, like that is bro, you're putting everything you have on this. And it's like, no, I'm good. And then also, bro, if you don't know, you're literally telling me to give you money. Why would I do that? That sounds like such a scam. I'm gonna make you very rich. Okay, Mr. Nigerian Prince from Kenya. I'll believe it when I see it.
But yeah. I agree. Yeah, but to me, my MVP is the MVP, man. All those miles on our box was worth at the end. And all right. So who can we say was the least valuable person in this movie?
Mr. Yeah. He was the least valuable. I mean, he brought nothing to the film. I mean, he had the yeah was great, but like, what does it really add to the film? Honestly,
very white motherfucker purpose than him.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, they didn't. At the very least, bro, they could have showed those guys like on the island or something with Eddie, and they're just sitting there having a great time. And he's like, "Y'all enjoying this?" And he's like, "Yeah." We didn't get nothing. So I'm like, why even have them show up multiple times in the film? Like, it's kind of pointless. Bro, they had at least like 3 minutes, maybe 4 minutes of screen time, and none of it affected anything whatsoever. Like, at least with Beak's character, when he was shoving people down and stuff, they were insignificant characters, but they helped build his character, if that makes sense. Of like just him being an asshole, honestly. But him just going around to some, yeah, bro, come on. It was funny for sure. It's just pointless.
You shouldn't be a jive turkey so close to Thanksgiving.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't know what they was finna do to him, to be honest with you.
So you know who you fucking with? It's cell number 4 in the
Man was trying to call for help.
He's calling for help, bro.
That's funny.
He said, "Billy Ray Valentine." What do you say? Yes.
You been bailed out. Me? Man was so happy.
You know what's so funny? Dudes that go into jail or just coming out of jail act just like how Billy Ray did, bro. Talking about they did this and did that. He said, "Man, when they brought you was crying like a pussy because they used tear gas in my face. That's why I was crying."
Yes, I still walk to here though. And that's how it be, bro. You gotta make yourself look tough so don't nobody try you like a punk.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. But man, talk about he beat up multiple cops. It's like, bro, okay, you doing too much.
Yeah, multiple with a plural with the S, plural cops.
Plural. I would say the most least valuable. A part of me wants to say Beaks because again, like he shouldn't let that many people get that close to him, bro. The man let Eddie in. He let Lionel in. He got distracted by the titties by Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, yeah, he did.
It's like, you want to help me with my website? Even he was like, oh yeah, sure, why not? Like that's the most polite he's ever been.
Yeah, he was ready to be a gentleman. He was ready to help.
Yeah, exactly. But if I had to say the most least valuable person, it'd probably be that random black lady that had her tits all the way out for no reason in the party.
Oh yeah, dude, that was so. It was two, bro. It was like at least two women in the middle of the floor, just no top or nothing. I'm just like, what? Why? Why?
Yeah,
Why are you doing this?
But the black lady's breast was a little disappointing. Like she was building that shit up, and then when she took it off, it's like kind of droopy.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to speak on her body. I'm just speaking from the sense of like, why? What purpose did it serve? Why did we have to take it off anyways? Like, I'm just very confused. I'm just very confused by that scene. They just all free. Just
time. Like I said, that was during a time, bro, where you can say whatever you want, do whatever you want. You know, like bro, like they were like again, like they were saying the F word like it was nothing, especially Eddie.
Yeah, Eddie threw it out at least like 4 times in this movie. Maybe.
Did he throw you off when he said that first time?
A little bit. I'm not gonna lie, a little bit. But yeah, it was a different time period, so you know.
Yes,
can't really...
yes, it was. Now this to me is the fun part of these reviews. Like me and Quez just thought about this, about who on the panel would be who in these movies. And I really had to think about this. But so for me, if I was casting this movie, Mark, I could see you as Billy Ray. Abs 100% as Billy Ray. Granted, I think, Mark, you will kind of be a little bit more. I mean, Eddie was too, but I think you would have been more like, wait a minute, something's going on. Like the second you saw the Dukes talking about, coming there, going to offer you whiskey and cigars, and we're going to give you all this money, I think you would have knew from jump that something's going on.
Yeah, see, I would have never made it to be like in his position, which also would have meant I would have never became filthy rich. So, take that how you will.
Yeah, you would end up being filthy rich at the end. Yes. I don't see this guy being as pompous. I can see Arlo as Winthorpe. I could definitely see Arlo as Winthorpe. Not as pompous, not as posh. I could definitely see a situation where Arlo crashing out after losing his money will probably be a funny sight. I can hold you up.
Yeah, unless the
usually
delusion works though.
I mean, of course not that part, but Arlo's usually calm. But see, Arlo freak out would be fucking funny. Oh man, they're gonna kill me for this. MG and Quez.
Not the dudes, bro. Not the dudes.
Yes.
Oh man, I knew it.
And you can guess who Quez is.
Well, I know Quez is the one talking about some jive turkey, and I know MG's the yeah. No, actually, no, Quez is the yeah. My fault.
Yeah, Quez is the yeah.
MG, you jive turkey.
Turkey. The bar called MG a Barry White looking motherfucker will be a list. It's a funny thought to me. I could see. Shout out to Danny. I could see Danny as Beaks.
What a strange pick.
I can see Danny as because I thought about me being Beaks. Actually, no. I probably would be Beaks because Jamie Lee Curtis titties would distract me for a second too.
I mean, I think anything concerning that woman is literally a distraction to you. So yes, Beaks.
I mean, it would be, especially back then. Especially back then.
I mean, we know you, bro. Like anything, JB Lee, bro. You're there. We know you.
Well, yeah, kind of, sort of. When she,
A lot of.
she's well, I mean, she's kind of a weirdo now, but if she offered to me, I ain't gonna say even now 64. Like I don't give a fuck.
I told y'all. I told y'all. That's
there
that's
you
what
go.
James is.
I tried to fight it. I couldn't. Okay, there you go.
I know you can't. I know you can't.
The Dukes. Arlo could be one of the Dukes too. Especially Mortimer. I can see Arlo going, fuck him if it's
Exactly. That is definitely him.
Shout out to Don Mancini, bro. But that whole scene, his face expressions when they talk about that they're gonna be released from their season, that look on his face, bro, he was fantastic in that scene, bro.
That was great.
A Duke's been in that chair for generations. You can't take us off our seats.
Bro, he was losing his mind, bro. Literally.
I would too. That's the thing about it. Okay, and we're gonna end this off with 5 stars. Mark, where would you rank Trading Places out of 5 stars?
3 out of 5. I'm not gonna do the point stuff. I think it was a middle of the road movie. Not bad. Not the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. So I'm just gonna go. And I don't like saying 3 out of 5 is like mid. I just look at 3 out of 5 as solid. It was a solid movie. Nothing that's gonna blow your socks off, but nothing that's gonna just make you say this is awful. Solid overall movie.
And you know what? I think I'm gonna be right there with you with a 3 out of 5. A big part of that is the performances of Dan Aykroyd and especially Eddie Murphy. I did like the story that they were telling. The whole social experiment, again, the whole nature versus nurture situation. And bro, there was there was a lot of messages, like you said this, right? There was a lot of messages in this movie, like especially when I was a kid watching this, I didn't think about it. But I'm older, I'm like, yo, this movie's about life. Like you said, it's pretty much a documentary, damn near.
I just hope no one's getting shipped off to Africa in a gorilla cage. But other than that,
well, shit, you never know. With this
world,
true. You never know. You never know who's in them gorilla cages now.
You got a point.
But I think I like how the story was written. I think once it kind of got to the end of the second act again with the train thing, it started dragging. I thought it was entertaining, but we saw those random ass scenes with the gorilla. He's like, monkey, I'm a gorilla, you fucking clown. It was like, you could have cut that out. And the whole situation with honestly, you could have cut the part out when he's begging for when he goes to the country club for a loan. You honestly could have cut that out too, honestly. Bitch ass Todd. But that was another message. That was another message that this movie showed you, that even in your circle, there's haters in your circle.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, bro, it really wasn't a comedy, comedic aspects, but to me, I didn't find the movie that funny. Like in terms of like it just seemed kind of dark. Like a dark maybe it would have been better classified as a dark comedy, to be honest. Instead
Oh,
of
for
just
sure.
saying it's a comedy, because it's really not.
Yeah, yeah. It didn't make me laugh as much as I did when I was a kid. Um, but just how realistic the movie is was just crazy to me. But let me see what Dominic says here. But they knew what the market was going to be. It was an insider trader. What about the Dukes Butler? He brought nothing to the film. Oh, he won. He got that $5 bonus. Uh,
Yeah, and go to the movie theaters by himself. But no, I think once again, I think those characters do bring stuff to the film. It's not like once again, Mister Yeah brings nothing because there's no development you can get from a character just by saying yeah. Someone giving a person who has like a very, I guess, non-impact role on a film, the role of taking $5 from someone who sees him as less than him, I think that like that's meaningful. Yes, his character is insignificant, but it helps build out the character of one of the main villains of the movie. So you have to have those characters who don't have this crazy impact on screen to be able to help sell the idea on the main person's character. And
mhm.
everyone had that. Like once again, Penelope was not a main focus of this film. She wasn't. But her being around helped flesh out the character that was Winthorpe, right? That's kind of how that was. All those characters that were with Billy Ray at the club and went back home with them to the party, they were insignificant, but they built his character. The butler actually does build character as well too, because of the simple fact that yes, he's the do boy, but once again, you see him starting to change the more and more he's hanging around Billy Ray, and the more and
Yep.
more he's getting acquainted with him, he's starting to like gain some of his humanity back, bro.
Yeah, he was. And then, like I said too, like in that scene when he had to act like he didn't know Winthorpe, like you could see that it was quick. When you said like he felt terrible doing that. You could tell he didn't want to do that.
Yeah, on that second door close, when he opened the door, just kind of looked
Mhm.
at him for a little bit longer than he did the first time. It was like, yeah, he don't like having to do this.
No, no, because as far as we know, Cole was probably working for Winthorpe since Winthorpe was probably like a baby, bro. Like
Yeah,
that was probably tough for him, bro. And also and also too, like if this movie, if I could see somebody like if this was like an economics class or a social studies class, I could see if I was a teacher, I would play this for the students. Like I think this would be a good
well,
lesson on.
I don't know about all that, bro. With the amount of, you know,
Well,
you know,
of course, obviously, but as far as like the messages and social and we're moving, but the message about class and the message on black issues and the message on social status, how people perceive you and stuff. Like I think this because I think well, it's a college class at least a college class. Um, yeah, I just thought about it. Yeah, I don't think today's high schoolers would handle this, but
no, I mean, I don't even think we would have. Just say, ooh, titties. Like people would have just been focused on that. Like there's no. And then also like them calling each other the F word and stuff, bro. Yeah, this movie, nah, it's not. You can't play this.
whoa, 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 we are like okay, we are like we are the byproducts of Gen X, I want to say. So I think we would have handled this.
I wouldn't have. No, I would. Maybe you, but no, not me. Not me and my crew.
But
No.
you're a millennial too.
No, I'm just saying, like we all grew up different. It doesn't really matter if I'm a millennial or not. I would have never handled this movie the right way. Bro, I would have never gotten the message at 16. Never.
Oh, I see what. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay. Oh, okay. We put it that way when when you're 16. Yeah, you're not really thinking about it. Yeah.
No, and then like about time you get to college, they've got better movies and books to show you than this, So it's like this really doesn't have a purpose to be showed, to me at least, in like any school. It's like
Man,
it's just a film.
So funny. I'm glad you mentioned books. But I don't think I don't think they even have books in school anymore. It's all on tablets now.
Yeah. They don't really. I mean, they still reading. It's just not physical books.
That I literally had my sister show me that, bro. I was just like, oh my goodness, bro. Oh my god.
I mean,
I remember having to walk home from school with like 4-5 different textbooks in my backpack, bro.
it's just more convenient now, I guess, for them to have like the tablets. Everything can be on this one little small device rather than having to buy like 50 billion books for a school, I would imagine. Maybe. I don't know.
Must be nice. Must be nice. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap it and end up there. I thought this was a really, really fun conversation. I thought it was a nice, great first episode for the Black History Month reviews. Thank you to everybody that's tuned in and watched tonight. Dominic, John Jay, Clint, all of them. Really appreciate y'all, man. Let us know your thoughts on Trading Places 1983. Do you guys like it? Do you guys not like it? Do y'all love it? Do y'all hate it? How y'all feel about Dan Aykroyd, Eddie Murphy, Jamie Lee Curtis's chest? Whatever it was, just let us know. But we saw them shits twice, which was nice. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, we saw them. I'm telling you, this movie was heavy on breast for some reason, very heavy.
And I think I'll go ahead and announce this now. Quez will be out of town for next week, so I believe in 2 weeks we'll be back. The next movie that we will be doing is Poetic Justice. Poetic Justice, the movie starring Tupac Shakur and the woman that's been my wife ever since I was 5 years old, Janet Jackson. So that's gonna be a very, very another fun conversation. So please be sure to hit that like, subscribe button. Don't be afraid to share this video if you want to as well. And thank you all, for hanging out with me and Mark and Quez for Trading Places Black History Month movie review. And we appreciate every single one of y'all. And we will talk to y'all later. And
wait, hold on. Because before I go, because I do got to get up in the morning. Like I literally have to be up in like 2 hours. It's crazy, right? I got a power nap. But I just want to say thank y'all for having me. First of all, James, thank you for having me. Because I mean, dude, like we do these, like you and Quez, like y'all do these every month, and then like I happen to have like this one show where I just show up every year now. It's kind of become tradition where I at least do one of them. And so, yeah, it's always fun to like do these with y'all and just watch a movie that I've never seen before and just discuss it. So, yeah, thank y'all for having me for this one for sure.
Oh, I'm glad to have you here. Take that power nap. Them 2 hours come quick. So
they do.
All right. Have a good night, y'all. We are out. Peace.
See y'all.